To start with, they wanted the compacts, and we didn't stand up in light of the fact that we didn't much care. At that point they desired the general vehicles, and the guarantee of turbocharging purchased both our hush and implied consent. Be that as it may, now the tricky powers of scaling back have desired our games autos, and there's no one remaining to hear our torment. Porsche's choice to move the 718 era of the Boxster and Cayman from a hitting level 6 to a turbocharged level 4 could be legitimized by the brand's long relationship with littler motors, from the 4-barrel 356 forward. Be that as it may, Jaguar has no such chronicled pardons for the therapist beam it has connected to the F-Sort's power plant, with the new 2.0-litre base model denoting the first run through. This British brand has created a games auto with less than 6 chambers. The power plant being referred to as Jaguar Land Rover's recently created Ingenium turbocharged fuel inline-four motor, set to be taken off all through the greater part of the Jaguar and Land Rover extend in short request and conveying a noteworthy measure of capability in the F-Sort. It may be short on the 2 barrels and removal when contrasted and its forerunners, yet the pinnacle 296 pull is marginally more than the Jaguar XJS produced using a 5.3-litre V12 in the mid-1990s. Puma is typically quick to have us see the new power plant as an option that is other than an economy choice, and in spite of the fact that the 4-chamber will drop the section level cost for the range somewhat, the most evident advantage is the asserted pairing of 115 pounds of mass when contrasted in the 3.0-litre V6 that now sits above it in the range progressive system. The 2.0-litre will be accessible just with an 8-speed program gearbox. Jaguar executives concede that their extravagantly built 6-speed manual transmission offered in V6 F-Sort models is offering in disappointingly little numbers. There won't be an all-wheel drive choice with the littler motor, either. Panther states that the 2.0-litre programmed will dispatch the 0 to 60 mph benchmark in 5.4 seconds, or 0.1 seconds speedier than the organization's claim for the past base model, a 340 horsepower V6 with the manual. The main stick-move F-Sort we've tried was a car outfitted with a more grounded 380 horsepower V6, which annexes a S to the name and hurried to 60 mph in 4.9 seconds. Outwardly, the 4-barrel display is recognized from other F-Sorts by being constrained to a solitary focal fumes pipe amidst the backguard. Driven headlights in Jaguars and Control Touch Pro infotainment framework are currently standard, including some additional incentive past that given by the 4-chamber's marginally decreased cost. The Roadster is $60,895 contrasted and a year ago's base of $62,395 for a manual V6. The convertible costs $63,995 to a year ago's $66,395. We drove the new Auto over a portion of similar streets in North Wales that Jaguar's building group made broad utilization of amid its advancement. This is where the blacktop can be as trying as the sentence structure. The quick A470 that connections between Swicoed with Blen off Estiniog is especially outstanding on the 2 checks in this littler engine. F-Sort clears itself splendidly. The new motor isn't the most normal games auto power plant, being more quick to deliver down and out snort than high revving energy. With the gearbox in manual mode and the auto in its more forceful dynamic setting, got you through a checkered signal change beside the rigging selector. It is not hard to discover the motor's rev limiter at 6,750 revolutions per minute in first and second apparatuses and 6,500 revolutions per minute in higher proportions. Left to its own particular gadgets, however, the transmission dependably moves far more like 5,500 revolutions per minute where the motors yield crests. Yet these gear changes are both in sight and smooth. While there's no deficiency of commotion under eager utilize on account of a roar debilitate framework and even a few pops and blasts when the driver lifts off the quickening agent, there's never any uncertainty that you're tuning into a 4-chamber soundtrack, which sounds, honestly, indistinguishable in a 2-situate Jaguar. It's the one range where the essential F-Sort feels unmistakably subpar compared to its 6 and 8-chamber kin, albeit under delicate utilize the motor note blurs away to a satisfying foundation burble. There are some certain advantages, as well. The mass diminishment over the nose enables the 2.0-litre auto to feel particularly more light-footed than its heftier sisters when made a request to hand over to slower corners. Yet this Jag remains similarly as planted as any F-Sort in speedier turns. Extreme grip will no uncertainty measure bring down on our skid pad, because of smaller tires and partially milder springs. However, the 4-chamber auto feels more exploitable. The motor raids in this, as well. Both the V6 and the V8 autos often battle for footing, and even the AWD adaptations can feel wayward when made a request to discover grasp on an elusive surface. However, the 2.0 liters lower yield and gentler power conveys mean it never feels tail-glad, notwithstanding when a run-of-the-mill Welsh rainstorm moves through to slicken the street surface. This new base F-Sort may need crude power contrasted and the past one, yet it can be driven at a far higher level of its potential all the more regularly. Therefore, it needs minimal over its more costly kin as far as genuine pace or even excites. Aside from its insipid soundtrack, the 2.0-liter F-Sort appears like a persuading extension regarding the model range. However, we know its allure has been sharpened for those parts of the world where gas costs more than vintage wine and where purchasers pay correctional charges in view of removal, control yield, or CO2 emanations. None of that applies in these United States, so we presume that generally US purchasers will keep on opting for the brawnier and better-sounding V6 and V8 forms, in spite of the reserve funds offered by the 4-barrel. At that point there's the little matter of the Porsche Boxster and Cayman. Indeed, even this 4-banger F-Sort still conveys a huge value premium over what are as of now our two most loved games autos, while the Ingenium makes no more power than the base 718s. Americans willing to pay more for the Jaguar are probably going to pick one of its all the more intense motors.